If you've been following this channel for a while, you probably know I've talked about BlockDAG many times. And there's a reason. I wasn't just covering the project. I was invested in it. I participated in the pre-sale. I believed in the vision. I believed the project could become something meaningful. And for a long time, I wanted BlockDAG to succeed. But today, I want to talk about something that has become increasingly difficult for me to ignore. And it isn't simply the fact that the price collapsed. It's something much more uncomfortable. Did investors ever actually get the opportunity they were led to expect? Let me take you back. If you were an early BlockDAG investor, were you ever told or led to believe that you could sell your BDAG around 5 cents? If you were, ask yourself something very simple. Did you actually get that opportunity? Not the theoretical price, not the price you saw in a projection, not the price you were hoping for. Did you actually have meaningful access to sell around 5 cents? Because I didn't. And this is where the story becomes painful. The token was eventually listed, but when that listing happened, investors did not have the meaningful market access they expected. And by the time meaningful access became available, the price had already collapsed. Think about that. A price can exist on a chart without that price necessarily becoming a real exit opportunity for the investor. And that's the distinction I think we need to understand. Because if you're told you can sell around 5 cents, the natural assumption is when the token is listed, I'll be able to access that market and make my own decision. But what happens if the market becomes accessible only after the opportunity has effectively disappeared? That's a very different story. And I'm asking these questions because I have real money in this. I invested approximately $1,111 of my own capital into BlockDAG. That's not theoretical money. That's not money from a spreadsheet. That's money I actually put into the investment. And at one point, with roughly half the number of tokens I have today, the estimated value displayed to me was close to $3,000. Then things changed. Today, I hold approximately 95,700 BDAG, almost 100,000 tokens. And you might hear that number and think, that's a lot of tokens. But here's the problem. Quantity isn't value. Because when I recorded this video, the CoinMarketCap data I was looking at showed BDAG at approximately $0.0000212. That's roughly 99.97% below the all-time high shown in that snapshot. And I want to be very clear, that was the market data available when I recorded this video. I'm not presenting that number as today's live price. I'm documenting what I saw at the time I recorded my experience. And the estimated value of my holdings, approximately $3. I invested approximately $1,111. At one point, the displayed value approached $3,000. I now hold approximately 95,700 tokens, and the displayed value at the time of recording was around $3. More tokens, almost no value. But the story doesn't end there, because my tokens are currently on Bitmart. And now, there is another problem. Bitmart itself is going through a major operational situation. The exchange has announced an orderly cessation of operations, with trading scheduled to stop on August 26, 2026, and users being urged to withdraw their assets before the deadline. But my BDAG withdrawal is currently suspended. So suddenly, the question isn't only, how much is my BDAG worth? The question becomes, can I actually access whatever value is left? And that's a much more frightening question, because a balance on a screen isn't necessarily the same thing as money you can actually use. If I can't move the tokens, if I can't withdraw them, if I can't sell them when I need to, then what exactly am I holding? That's what makes this experience feel like a nightmare, because I didn't simply watch an investment lose value. First, the expected exit opportunity didn't materialize the way I believed it would. Then, the market collapsed, and now, the remaining tokens I hold are sitting on an exchange where my withdrawal is currently suspended, while that exchange is going through its own operational transition. So my problem has evolved. It started with, will this investment become valuable? Then became, why didn't investors get the access they expected? And now it's, will I still be able to access what I have left? And this is where I want to ask something of other early BlockDAG investors. Maybe you're watching this and you have thousands of tokens, maybe tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, and maybe you're looking at that number thinking, one day, this could still be worth a lot. I understand that, because I had the same thought. But I want you to ask yourself one question. If someone gave you the current recoverable value of your BDAG in cash, would you use that cash to buy the same amount of BDAG again today? That's uncomfortable, because it removes everything that happened in the past. It removes your pre-sale price. It removes the money you've already spent. It removes the number of tokens you already own. And it asks only, knowing what I know today, would I make the same decision again? That's a completely different way of looking at an investment, because we often become attached to what we already own. We think, I've already put money into it. I've waited this long. I have so many tokens. Maybe the next announcement will change everything. But those aren't necessarily investment reasons. Sometimes they're reasons we're emotionally attached to our previous decision. And I think that's something every investor should be willing to confront, especially when the original expectation doesn't match the current reality. So go back to that 5-cent question. Were you actually able to sell around 5 cents? Did you actually have meaningful access when that price mattered? Or did meaningful access arrive after the market had already moved dramatically against you? And if that happened, then what about all the other expectations surrounding the project? The timelines, the listing, the market access, the liquidity, the ability to actually use or sell the tokens. I'm not saying this to create FUD. I'm not saying BlockDAG will definitely go to zero. I don't know the future. Maybe the project recovers, maybe liquidity improves, maybe something changes. And honestly, I hope it does, because I still have capital exposed to this. But hope cannot replace evidence. At some point, we have to stop asking what something could become and start asking what it actually is. And that's where my experience has brought me. I'm no longer asking, how many BDAG do I own? I'm asking, how much of my original capital can I realistically recover? I'm no longer asking, what could this token be worth? I'm asking, what can I actually access? And I'm no longer asking, what will the project promise next? I'm asking, which expectations from the past actually became reality? That's a very different mindset, because the future is always easy to sell. The future can contain anything, but the past contains evidence. And that's why I want other early investors to look backward, not emotionally, not with anger, just honestly. What were you told? What did you expect? What did you actually receive? When did you receive access? What was the market price when you finally had that access? And could you actually exit? Because a price is only meaningful if you can actually access it. And that's the part of my BlockDAG experience that I don't want to ignore. I invested $1,111. At the time I recorded this video, I held approximately 95,700 BDAG. The estimated value shown was around $3, and my withdrawal was suspended. That's my reality. Maybe the future changes it, maybe it doesn't, but I'm gonna document it, because this isn't just another crypto story for me. This is my capital, and maybe it's your capital too. So if you're an early BlockDAG investor, I genuinely want to hear from you. Did you ever get the opportunity to sell around 5 cents? Did you have meaningful market access when you expected it? What happened when you finally got access? Can you withdraw your tokens today? And if you're still holding, what exactly are you holding for? Maybe you have a strong reason. Maybe the future will prove me completely wrong. And if it does, I'll say so. Because changing your mind when reality changes is not weakness. It's part of investing. I'm Agus. This is Bias Positive Digital Rise. If you want to follow this journey, subscribe. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to document what happened, ask uncomfortable questions, and let the evidence speak. Question the narrative, look at the reality, and remember, a price is only an opportunity if you can actually access it.